Hello, everybody, and welcome on into an extra edition of Sidelines. I'm your host, Drew Patrick. On today's show, we meet a couple of new faces here on campus. We meet the new head track and field coach, Jamal Johnson, and we meet the new assistant field hockey coach, Caitlin Hoover. Welcome back to Sidelines, and now we are joined by the new head track and field coach, Jamal Johnson. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you very much for having me.
So let's start with this job comes available, and what in your career, what did you know, and how did you know that it was time to take the next step to become a head coach?
Well, one of the things that attracted me to Mansfield University was the resources. At the past institution I was at, we didn't have a lot of resources for my sport. So when it became available in this past June, it was something I really was looking forward to.
And track and field is as unique as a coach perspective because there's not one thing you can focus on. There's many different events and many different things to focus on. So how do you handle that management or that time management style?
You have to have a good staff for one. You can't do everything on your own, so you definitely have to have a good staff, good assistants, and you just have to do what you can as far as doing the best that you can with what you have. So you can't do everything, but you do have to specialize in certain things, and so I just try to be the best at what I'm good at.
So what are those things that you're looking forward to specializing?
Short sprints, long sprints, hurdles, and jumps. I kind of break off at 800 meters. Anything above 800 meters is out of my thinking. So I just kind of let, Coach Micro kind of take care of that here.
Yeah, and so your philosophy, your coaching philosophy for this team, what is it specifically? It's a loaded question, I understand that.
It is a loaded question. My philosophy is, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the old term, a player's coach. That's kind of how I am. I'm still able to connect with the students. I'm not that far removed from where they were or where they are right now. So I still kind of lean on, being aware of everything that's going on, I guess, in pop culture and music and shoes and stuff like that. So I was trying to connect with the athletes, and that somewhat it makes everything a little bit better. It makes them want to come to practice. It makes them want to compete for you. So that's how I kind of look at everything. But when it comes to practice and competing, we work hard for sure. I always say that winning is fun. Winning is fun. So we're going to have some fun along the way as long as we put the work in.
It's interesting, obviously, this year with the chaos that it is. In terms of really figuring out the landscape here of Mansfield and figuring out what to do with the team, how, I know in your short time here, how has that process been so far?
So far, it's been okay. It hurts not having the team, here and being able to talk to them every single day and see them face to face every single day. But it does give me some time to figure out exactly what I'm going to do and how I'm going to do it. So the facilities here are great. I've been able to walk those a few times. I've been able to run on them a few times. I've been able to get to the rec where we have our indoor equipment. So, it's good and bad. But I do I've been able to, look throughout the community and shop locally and all that stuff. So that's been pretty good.
Getting acclimated, that's always great.
Yes.
With the team specifically, obviously, with you said in person you haven't done yet and have to wait probably a longer time than you would hope. But in those meetings you have had on a Zoom or online, how have they come to you, and how have they really welcomed you here?
They're excited. They're excited. Even the ones I wouldn't coach, I guess, personally, as far as like distance athletes, they've all reached out to me, email, text, whatever. But they're excited to have some guidance. Before I got here, it was split between the men's program and the women's program. So now that it's just a head track coach and a head cross country coach, everyone's kind of on the same page. It's the same type of training, the same type of mindset, and me and Coach Mike Roll we're getting along pretty well.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. The fact that it is not a men's job or a women's job, it's a combined job. So how does that change your planning and the way you attack practices a little bit, or is it one set plan and everyone goes with it?
It's what I've done my entire career, even as a high school coach. Even though I was the boys' high school coach, I still coached men or boys and girls. And then at Southern Indiana, it was just a combined program. So the only thing that I would have to switch up is, I guess, the different disciplines. I'll have a long jump practice, a high jump practice, and then maybe short sprints and long sprints can go together. But it's not really that much different for me. I know in the past the staff here has been kind of doing things differently, but for me, it's kind of what I've been doing my whole career.
By the way, Southern Indiana, the Screaming Eagles is a great mascot name. I love it completely. But I want to ask you about this year. Obviously, again, with the chaos and there not being an indoor season, what are your goals for the outdoor season looking ahead?
Stay healthy. Stay healthy. From my understanding, we won't use a year of eligibility. So at this point, we just kind of, with me not having a full fall season of training, I just kind of look at going into outdoor, just doing what we can and staying healthy. Obviously, we're going to compete to our best ability, but like I said, everything's been shortened. So I just want to just stay healthy, don't have any season-ending injuries that'll put you out until next December. So I'm not sure if we're going to have a conference meet or anything like that, but definitely want to stay healthy.
Is there a bit of a positive, though, in that the fact that if we have that season, that outdoor season, and no eligibility is used, that you get a chance to see kind of a performance season without losing anybody?
Yes, I'm very excited. I am very excited for that. I'm kind of happy that we didn't have an indoor season for sure, because I would have been way behind the 8 ball. But I am happy that we aren't losing the year of eligibility for outdoor season. So it's like I'm not going to say a practice year, because that doesn't makes it seem like we're not working hard. But it's definitely like a dress rehearsal.
That should be exciting, Jamal. We're excited to have you here, and thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you for having me.
And Sidelines continues after this. Do not go anywhere. Welcome back here to Sidelines. Now we are joined with, I wouldn't say a new face anymore, but a face that we haven't actually had a chance to completely introduce, and that's assistant field hockey coach Caitlin Hoover. Caitlin, thank you so much for stopping by.
Oh, thank you for having me.
So like I said, this is your first year here, but you had the semester, so you're not exactly new anymore, but we haven't had a chance to speak here. So I just want to talk about how this first semester went. Obviously, chaos with COVID, but what were some of the things you guys had to adapt as a coaching staff for the field hockey squad?
So actually, we had a lot of girls at home this year, so just being able to stay in contact and make them feel included was a huge thing we had to work on. So doing virtual sessions just so they were still having ball and stick action, seeing their teammates and still feeling included was a huge issue for us. I guess, not issue, but, you know, roadblock. So having, I think it was 15 girls at home, splitting them up into 2 groups was like a huge thing we had to deal with. Technology issues obviously always happen, so that was a fun time. But yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely fascinating, especially those virtual sessions that I want to talk about. And you guys are out there with Robin Kobe with a little tiny webcam for him. Talk a little bit about the true challenges of trying to show stick work and handwork with that tiny little camera.
Yeah, so obviously we can't like pinpoint everything on that camera. It's what you use as a webcam in your normal Zoom meeting. So that was a struggle in itself. Trying to like help them critique like what they're doing and show them exactly like what we mean was a struggle. You don't have like that hands-on ability with them. So just explaining it and then having to show them again over video was a struggle, but we got through it. The girls, I feel like, definitely improved along the way, which was good to see.
So this being your first year here, but it's not your first year with the conference. It's not your first year in the PSAC. So what do you think having that experience in the conference will help you bring to the table?
I think it's really helpful that I already know like what the teams usually bring in like a game sense. So like I'm already ahead of the game with that. Being with the conference when I was in school, you're kind of able to understand what you need to bring as a coach because you know what you need to push your players to achieve at the higher levels. So just having that background knowledge really helps me go into games and even practices understanding what we need to accomplish.
Not only just playing in this conference, but also that lovely, shiny thing on your desk that's a national championship trophy, which is maybe the greatest flex of anyone on this campus. But having national champion experience, what can you bring from that specifically to your coaching style?
I think understanding like what you need to push yourself to win and having that winning mentality is really nice to have. Britt's growing the program great here, so being under her and helping her grow myself and then adding my knowledge to it, I think will really help the program continue in the direction that's going.
And as an assistant coach, obviously you work hand in hand with the head coach, but and have similar goals. But what are your individual goals for this year?
I'd just like to get back to normal. Is goal number one here with our team. Obviously, I haven't got the chance to like really know them and know their playing styles and what they bring to the table. So just hoping to get back with them in the spring and just start moving forward from where we are.
Well, Caitlin, thank you so much for taking the time and stopping by.
Thank you.
And Sidelines continues after this. Do not go anywhere. That's going to do it for this edition of Sidelines. To stay up to date on all things Mansfield Athletics, head over to GoMounties.com. Thanks for watching.